Everybody, it's the Matt Master here. I'm just doing one last video for today because I just felt like doing more videos. As I said before, I was just kind of in the mood lately to do more. Going to be revamping or ramping up my BitChute as well. Probably this next week, the next coming weeks. I've been threatening to do that for a while. So this video is about a weird phenomenon that I've had over the past even a couple of weeks or a couple months, or since actually like at least early this year, and that is this weird reference to last year as 2019. And I noticed myself doing this even as we approach like August. I still do this. I don't know what it is, but it's like I don't refer to last year as 2020. There's occasionally I do, and I guess maybe it's because people measure time in certain ways. I've been working in office, in an office environment since I was I turned 16 years old, on and off. So maybe that's how you measure time, is like you look at the clock and there's this calendar on your desktop. And so maybe it has something to do with how time is measured because I'm at home, working from home. Stuff like that. I don't know. But it's like, it's one of those things that I don't really get the phenomenon of. And it just sucks because I wish that was last year. 2019 was not a bad year for me. I mean, I had a girlfriend. I was writing my open mic comedy bit, and, working on my album. Wasn't working on a few things that I probably should have, but I was having a lot of fun. I was doing some other things that a little too much. I'll just say kind of a not drugs, not alcohol. That's the irony. I just couldn't. I'll just say that I was very exhausted some of the time. It was nuts, but yeah, 2019 was a really good year. There were problems, of course, even back then in my life, but I was happy with my job at the time too. So my job had evolved into the same, where I did a lot of offline work, and I was able to like be in a relaxed environment and atmosphere, and I had friends on my team. We were all in this area, this open office thing, and I had my my guy on the left of me who quit more recently, the same company, and these guys over the wall, like there's a little, like not really a wall, but just like separation over the thing. It's like these open office cubicle sort of thing. It's like tables, but it has there's things like separating, but you can still see people's heads, sort of like it's clear. Of course, that's not the new normal anymore. And I was really resistant of that shit back then, or back when 2018 when they first started doing that. And then I loved it. And I'd bring my book and read, and I'd get like 3 or 4 calls an hour. Got some reading done, writing all these songs, all these lyrics and all these role-playing campaigns and ideas, and making my friend who was next to me laugh, even though if he was in the middle of a call or something, or I'd say something. It was just a lot of fun. I would get my cold brew drink, from the evil Starbucks sometimes too. Nitro cold brew on the right, and like my books, and taking calls, helping people out, customers, and being escalated to us. And then it was a life. And then I had the 2 days off in the middle of the week where I visit my girlfriend, and it was just a life, and I missed it. So 2019 kind of seems like last year. I mean, my year, I don't even consider 2020 even a year. I was so sucked into the rabbit hole of the whole, you know what? I got sucked really way in from the start. First video was done, I mean, my first video on here was done in February, or not February, March 28th, 2020. I talked about new normal. I thought it was such a dumb fucking thing. I was reading all these articles. I was like, you know, I thought it was such a dumb concept, and I won't go into any. That's where my BitChute channel, even though I just did a video on here, hopefully it won't get flagged. And I was just, you know, I was kind of, I was going crazy for a while. I just hated what was going on. And when things opened up, you know, in May, or what was it, May? It was June 2nd this year in this town. I didn't actually do stuff right away. It took me a couple weeks to actually start and taking advantage of it, which I still am, as long as it is happening. You know, who knows? But you know, yeah, I still think of 2019 as last year. I still do. I mean, in some ways, it was like the last year I felt like a real human being. So, and I don't know if it's just traumatic, like I said, like how we view time, like if we're doing something for years on end, that seems like the last normal time that happened. That seems like last year. It's this unconscious thing. Oh, I'm staying at home all the time, working now. Oh, well, it seems like last year was 2019, still in my brain. And, you know, it's like these weird situations in your head. Seeing people at work, seeing people when you're doing a job, it's like unheard of now, I guess, because you're remote work. Like I did my controversial video, which will be on BitChute pretty soon, which I should have uploaded already, but I haven't done it yet. The one that was taken down by Susan. So, I mean, it's just really weird referring to things as last year when they were 2 years ago, you know. At the same time, though, it also seems like a lifetime ago. So you have this contradictory view on time. So sometimes when I'm looking back on time, I'm like, it seems like a lifetime ago, 2019, because this trudge of this slow along this time frame, this whole fucking, you know, thing that's happened, and all the torturous negativity and weirdness and questioning yourself, because I question myself all the time about my point of view on it, because I'm like, do I go too far? Am I too far into the other the far right perspective of these things? Do I not care about other people? Do I not empathize enough with the people that have suffered from this, you know, or died or whatever? Or am I just too like cavalier about that? I'm just like a libertarian, like, oh, just free everything, you know, open things up, you know? I don't know. You know, sometimes I question that too, but I know for a fact that I don't like the contradictions and hypocrisy. I bring myself back to the center, because I don't mean center of politics, I just mean to the center of, become more centered about it, because then I think, well, I've been going against a lot of the bullshit with regards to it, so I don't feel bad at fucking all. Plus, I feel like by questioning these things, I am resisting any possible things that may happen as far as civil liberties or fascism, quote unquote authoritarianism, whatever. By resisting these things, I am making myself a bulwark against those things in case they happen, even if I'm wrong about some of those things. David Katz predictions, I bought in all that shit. It'll be done by October 2020. No. But anyways, that's fine. But I still refer to 2019 as last year. I still feel like that was the last real year in my life in many ways, because last summer was hell. First of all, I lived in my friend's attic, which I'd been living there for a long time, but I had to work there, and it gets super hot. The air conditioning stopped. I think the Freon was going out, and we never got the air conditioning fixed. So I had to work this sweaty ass attic. It was messy, well beyond this place ever will be, and it was kind of hell, you know. And I had to take back-to-back calls, collections calls in my job. Like, you take calls for these people that are late on payments or whatever, coming in all the time, back-to-back. Now it's not back-to-back. It's still somewhat back-to-back, which makes me want to smash stuff, and I throw books sometimes, or punch my hand, or scratch myself, or whatever, because I'm so pissed off, honestly. Because I have a little bit of self-mutilation tendency sometimes. I don't punch myself anymore. I used to do that back in the day, but, you know, I get so pissed off. But it's not like it was last summer. That was hell. And then my roommate and I weren't getting along because of the, you know, what happening, because he has a more Tarian, Mexican beer Tarian, you know, view. Just look up Tarl Warwick, what he calls that, or Branch Covidian. He was closer to that. I don't think he's completely like that, but he was closer to it than I was, so that brought up arguments. I don't really think he's super like that, actually, because he did have friends over once in a while, like a friend or two. So I don't think he was 100% into that mindset. There were people that were like, I'm not seeing anybody until this is over. You know, and then Tinder. This is so weird. But yeah, that was actually a girl on Tinder that I was talking to for a while. I was like, I'm not seeing anybody until this is over. Well, it's not never going to end, so I guess you'll never see anybody, huh? Ha ha, joke's on you. So, yeah, I don't think of 2019 as 2 years ago. I think of it as last year sometimes, because it felt like the last real year, because of the cycles of what you do during the day. Work at a job, drive somewhere for that job. It's like staying at home is like this extended, almost like vacation of hell or something. But you think of it, just the last time you've had that many interactions with other people, because you work with other people. So I think it's a psychological thing that's there, and then just like trying to not think about 2020 as happening, because it just didn't seem real in a lot of ways. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the year itself, the life, when you're living your life, there's this like sense of unreality. So thinking of 2019 as last year was kind of a thing for a while. I'm still adjusting to this, because I still do it. I slip up. I'm like, well, last year I went to see. That was 2 years ago. Last year I did. Oh, that was 2 years ago. Or 2018, no, 2 years ago. Shit, you know, I don't know what this is. I think there's other stuff at play here too, more than what I'm saying, just psychological stuff. But 2019 was, to me, that was the last year, or last year. So I don't know. Where do we go from here? I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping that 2021 turns out better, you know, than last year. Than last year, which was 2019. Yeah, 2019. It was last year. I keep laughing, but it's true. I hope 2021 turns out better. So far, it has been better, no doubt. I mean, there was a little period of time in the beginning of 2020 that was really cool, and it seems like I'm going back towards that, depending on what happens. Well, we gotta blame other people for that. No. Look at the numbers. You don't have to blame other people. We don't have to shame other people for, they're just taking us back to where it was. No, how you're responding to is. So fuck you. But I hate that shit. I hope we don't have to go through all that again. But yeah, 2019. Long story short, too long didn't read, too long didn't watch. 2019 seems like last year. It's really weird. It still does, even as we go into August. That's about all.